let's get into it. I used to be depressed. I used to be insecure about my body. I used to compare myself to all the girlies on Instagram. I used to seek external validation. I had very low standards. I had very little empathy for others. It was really bad. I found my higher power. So, as far as a spiritual routine, I don't want this to be misconstrued. Spiritual, when I say spiritual, I mean you are nourishing your soul. I mean that you are nurturing your inner child. I mean that you are just loving on yourself, but in a way that is deep and not surface level. So by the title of this video, we're going to be talking about the importance and why you need a spiritual routine. So I'd say about 3 or 4 years ago, I was depressed. I cried myself to sleep a lot of nights. I was extremely insecure about the way that I looked, about my personality. I didn't think I was loved. I felt very alone. I felt very inadequate. I just felt like a waste of space. That was probably one of the most hardest points that I was in. But learning how to manage my feelings instead of allowing them to consume me. But a part of it is that you have to be taught. For me, I'd hit a lower point to where I'm like, okay, something has to give. This isn't working for me. And I got a little older and I started to understand that. So watching this video is an amazing start. You're doing amazing. I'm applauding you right now. I love to see it. Yes. So this is the first step, is realizing it and being willing to implement what I'm about to say. So as far as a spiritual routine, I don't want this to be misconstrued. Spiritual, when I say spiritual, I mean you are nourishing your soul. I mean that you are nurturing your inner child. I mean that you are just loving on yourself, but in a way that is deep and not surface level. So a part of this is going to be looking at what your insecurities are and writing about them. I know. It's gonna be sad. It's not always. That's the thing. Healing isn't always beautiful, but the end result is healing doesn't always feel good, but it's always gonna be worth it in the end. So journaling and writing down your hurt, your insecurities, your pain, being able to cry and fully release and express it in writing. You could go somewhere and you can speak about it to yourself, just releasing it from inside your body and not allowing it to stay inside. Okay, so releasing it as well as crying and feeling your feelings. That's one aspect. Another aspect is doing what you love on a daily basis, even if it is for a very short period of time. Now, let's say you love to draw, or you love to paint, or you love to knit, or whatever it is. You love to write music, you love to write anything, you love to make beats. Whatever that is for you, you do it every single day, even if it's a little bit. If you love to dance, you dance. Okay? If you love to make games, you make a game. Yeah, Cameron, I'm talking about you. That's my brother. He makes games. You guys should check out his YouTube channel. He should actually be making some soon. Anyways, whatever you love to do it every single day, even if it's just a little bit of it. Next, I'm going to say that you limit your social media presence. Limit the amount of time that you are just scrolling, looking at other people's lives, or doom scrolling and looking at random videos. Now, let me say this, okay? I am not perfect. I still have my moments where I do that. Y'all, I'm actually working on it right now. I'm healed to a degree. I believe we are always healing, and I'm still healing, and I would love feedback. If you guys actually have any tips on how to limit your social media scrolling, I would love to hear them in the comments because I am still looking for it. But limiting your social media scrolling and doing the things that you love. It could be setting time limits. That has been helpful to me. Setting time limits and charging your phone at night in another room or putting your phone in another room before sleeping. It helps. So just limiting the amount of time that you are spending looking at other people's lives, because that is where a lot of depression comes from. The comparison is the thief of joy. And if you're consistently on social media, consistently looking at other women or whatever you're looking at, or men or whatever, you are consistently looking at that and comparing yourself to them, that is going to cause a mental struggle. That is going to cause mental distress if you do it all of the time for hours per day. So if you want to fix your mental health, if you want to assist yourself in feeling less down, feeling less insecure, get off social media for a little bit longer, okay? Also, learning what your triggers are, learning what things make you feel more down, and figuring how you can minimize them as much as possible. So, let's say that one of the triggers that I have for self-doubt is when people, and this is actually a real one for me, you guys, oh my gosh, vulnerable moment, but when people cut me off when I'm talking, I believe that they believe that what I have to say is stupid. I'm still growing, you guys, but what I help myself to do is that I understand you have to create new neural pathways. That's another video for another day. Neural pathways are basically just the things in your brain that connect, that allow you to have belief systems. Anyways, so creating a new idea in your mind that things don't have to be negative. It doesn't have to be that people don't want to hear me talk. It doesn't have to be that people don't like me. It could literally just be that they had a thought and they wanted to say it. That doesn't mean it's okay. That doesn't excuse it. But it's not what I thought it was. It's not so bad that they don't like me. It's just that people get excited, and sometimes I do that sometimes. So create new belief systems in your mind to where you can combat them. You can use these things in the beginning. It's not always gonna stick. You're not always gonna believe it right away. That is okay, but you continue to say it, okay? And that brings me to my next point. Affirmations, 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 affirmations. Every single day, you should be saying affirmations that affirm you of your beauty, of your inner beauty, of your talents, of your continued growth, of, everything that you are and all the things that you are growing to heal. You should be saying affirmations that are relative to your self-esteem. They can be in the places of which you have insecurity. Last but not least, you guys, the most important thing. You have got to be patient with your progress. Your progress will not be linear. No one's is. Trust me, do not feel different. Do not feel like you're not making enough of it. Nobody is having linear progress that's just like this all of the time. You're going your path is not going to be linear. I'm just going to tell you this right now. Do not think that something is wrong with you if you do not have a linear path. There is nothing wrong with you. You are growing. When you are growing, you will not be perfect at the first try. It is going to be a process. You learn as you go. You're not going to just know everything off the front. That's not how this works. That's not how anything works. You have to be patient with yourself, and you have to give yourself love. Okay? You cannot be hard on yourself. You have got to give yourself love, because sometimes you're going to fall short. It's going to happen. And when you do, you need to love yourself, but you also need to see how you can stop these things from happening again in the future. But you need to be patient with yourself at the same time. Do not be too hard on yourself. That is extremely discouraging for yourself. Make sure that you are practicing love to yourself, even as you stumble. You're human. Don't expect to be perfect. No one is, okay? You're gonna heal. You're gonna get there. It's not linear, but as long as you stay out of fear, growth is not linear, but as long as you stay out of fear, you're on the path to be here. Fully here in your abundance as you grow and give yourself the chance to grow in advance. I write poetry, guys. That's one of my poetry bangers. Alright, guys, thank you for watching my video, all that jazz. I would love to hear what different parts of your guys' spiritual routine is.